On September 24, 2025, a letter of intent was announced between HydroGraph Clean Power and SEADAR Technologies. The goal is to explore the integration of HydroGraph's high-purity graphene materials and coating technologies into SEADAR's submarine radar and surveillance systems. This news quickly brought some attention to HGRAF, but more importantly, the real impact lies in its potential medium and long-term effects on the company's future. In the next few minutes, I will explain in simple terms what this announcement really means, why it is important from both a technical and business perspective, what opportunities it could create, and what risks investors need to keep in mind. Before diving into the video, let me remind you that my goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of October. If we can hit that target together, I will reveal every single company currently in my portfolio that has already taken off and generated serious profits for me. If that sounds interesting, make sure to subscribe so we can reach the goal together. This is also not the first company I've shared with you. In the past, I've analyzed companies like Rigetti, AMPX, and Wolf in great detail when they were still at an early stage, and since then most of them have gone up by hundreds of %. Be sure to check out those videos on my channel, because many of these companies are still in the early stages and continue to offer massive opportunities. So, let's get started. The partnership between HydroGraph and SEADAR is much more significant than just a product announcement, and there are several reasons for that. The first reason is new market opportunities. Up until now, HydroGraph has primarily been active in industries like construction, batteries, and general industrial applications. Partnering with SEADAR opens the door to high-value markets like naval defense and deep-sea resource exploration. These sectors carry huge financial potential for both government and commercial applications. The second reason is practical, real-world value. Subsea environments are extremely harsh and highly prone to corrosion. HydroGraph's graphene coatings and composites could extend the lifespan of materials and cables used in SEADAR systems, improving reliability. This, in turn, could reduce operational costs, minimize risks, and pave the way for new commercial contracts. On top of that, graphene's unique properties could make important contributions in several areas. The first is corrosion protection. The harsh electrochemical environment of seawater quickly damages connectors and node housings. Graphene-based coatings can shield surfaces from water and ion penetration, significantly extending maintenance cycles. Another example is graphene-reinforced composites. These materials can create components that are lighter and stronger than Kevlar, which is especially important for submarine tethers and structural elements. Thermal management is also critical in underwater electronics, where space is tight and heat buildup can compromise reliability. Graphene's high thermal conductivity could improve cooling efficiency, making systems more dependable. That said, these potential advantages have not yet been fully proven through lab or sea trials. The agreement specifically mentions that these applications will be investigated, meaning technical validation is still to come. HydroGraph positions itself as a responsible producer of high-purity graphene and emphasizes that its explosion synthesis technology ensures consistent quality. In demanding fields like naval defense, the ability to deliver mass-scale, stable, and high-quality materials is absolutely critical. If HydroGraph can meet these requirements, it could secure long-term supply agreements with SEADAR and similar partners, diversifying its revenues and positioning itself as a significant industrial player. At this point, you might be wondering, what concrete opportunities could come from this partnership? If the collaboration proves successful, HydroGraph could sign long-term and stable revenue contracts not only with SEADAR but also with other companies in this sector. I see this initial agreement as a test run that will determine the path forward. Another potential upside is that naval defense applications can command premium pricing, since government defense budgets are often much higher than commercial contracts. This could also lead to entirely new product lines, such as corrosion-resistant coatings, graphene-based Kevlar tethers, and thermal management modules. Looking further, if trials are successful, HydroGraph and SEADAR could even enter NATO or national naval defense procurement tenders, especially considering SEADAR's expertise in this field. As I've mentioned in previous analyses, companies with direct government contracts often see their growth potential multiply 5 to 10-fold. Based on current developments, if this partnership works out, HydroGraph will likely move into direct government collaborations as well. So, what comes next in this partnership? First, it's important to understand that these tests will take time. In naval and defense technology, testing and regulatory approvals can take months or even years. In the initial phase, lab and field tests will be conducted on graphene coatings for corrosion resistance, on tethers for strength, and on thermal management performance. The next step will involve integrating prototypes with SEADAR's platform and conducting real-world sea trials. Because corrosion and degradation take time to appear, the testing process will inevitably take a while. If results are positive, negotiations for commercial contracts will begin. While the opportunities here are exciting, there are also risks investors need to consider. For one, this partnership is currently only a letter of intent. A formal contract has not been signed yet. If trials fail, no financial revenue will come from this. Another risk is that results in the lab may not translate to the same performance in real sea environments, where pressure, marine life, and electrochemical factors can cause unexpected problems. On top of that, defense applications often require additional licenses, security clearances, and financial guarantees, which could extend the sales cycle. Competition is another potential risk. Even though HydroGraph holds unique technology today, if these trials take too long, other material and composite producers could develop similar solutions, increasing pricing and competitive pressure. At the same time, scaling up production, testing, and research may require significant additional investment, which could impact shareholder returns. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe Graph's stock price could fluctuate in the short term as a result of this news. Early-stage partnership announcements like this often attract attention from inexperienced investors who don't fully understand the fundamentals, leading to temporary volatility or even a short-term bump in share price. But at this stage, the agreement itself doesn't carry direct financial value, so market reaction will likely be more emotional than rational. In the long run, however, if technical trials succeed and commercial contracts are signed, HydroGraph could open up entirely new, high-margin revenue streams in naval defense and offshore energy. This would significantly boost the company's revenue and profitability. And parallel to that, smart investors who recognize the potential early could quietly build wealth over time. For those interested in this company, there are a few key things to watch closely. The first is pilot test results, since performance in corrosion, thermal, and strength testing will be critical. The second is the timing and outcomes of real-world sea trials on SEADAR's platforms. Perhaps most importantly, investors need to watch for commercial contracts. The first official supply agreement signed after this LOI would be a massive catalyst for the stock. Finally, tenders and licenses should not be overlooked, as SEADAR's potential participation in NATO or national defense procurement programs could represent a turning point for HydroGraph. To wrap it all up in a few sentences, the HydroGraph-SEADAR partnership creates an opportunity to enter new markets like naval defense and offshore energy. However, this is still at an early stage, and the LOI only covers trials, not guaranteed commercial outcomes. The key factor will be test results. If graphene proves reliable and durable in marine environments, it could transform HydroGraph's business. My advice to investors is to stay cautiously optimistic. Follow the pilot tests, official contracts, and the company's financial health very closely. Before I sign off, let me also mention that if you'd like to claim up to $30 worth of free stocks or crypto, check the pinned comment for my invite link to QuantFury. And if you enjoy my videos, you can also buy me a cup of coffee through the other pinned link to help me stay motivated and keep producing more content for you.